This is my 1998 Chevy. It's got a 5.9 Cummins in it, 9 inches of suspension, and 3 inches of body lift. Pop the hood here. Everything's kind of a mess right now. I did the swap on a budget. Never did everything as nicely as I wanted to. This is the engine bay. Had to remove the fan off the front. Ran into some problems. Had to patch up the radiator a little bit there. I got an electric fan running in front of it. I used the 1992 Cummins motor mounts. Might have skipped it a little bit here. They say I'm not supposed to cut corners, but it's been working good for me. All I did was bolt it right into the holes where the old Chevy mounts came from. Just had to make the hole a little bit bigger, and that worked just fine. I haven't had any problems in that department. Here's a little better look. It's a little bit lopsided. Looks kind of funny, but it works. I've had that in there for about 10,000 clicks. Here's the other side. And those seem to be working just fine. I had to move my transmission and transfer case, everything back about 4 inches for the Cummins to fit in there properly. Otherwise I was running right into my rad. Front drive shaft's out right now being modified. It's really close to the front diff. I had to pop a bolt out of there because when I'd rev it up and start to do a brake stand, should push a little dent into the belly pan. I didn't want to have any problems in that, so I had to take that out. I haven't been doing brake stands since, but I'm going to trim a little bit of this webbing off here as soon as I can. Exhaust, 3-inch downpipe, 4-inch exhaust. My tip fell off the other day, don't know why. Got a new one ordered from Summit Racing. Fuel lines, I just clipped them onto my old Chevy fuel lines, just put a rubber hose with clamps. Works fine. I just unplugged the relay for the Chevy fuel pump. Transmission's an NV4500 Chevy with the Dodge bell housing, Dodge clutch and flywheel, and Dodge input shaft on it. I have a input shaft seal leak on the front, but I'll fix that soon. Transfer case is just the standard 241C new process. And it blew up on me, so I had to put another one in of those, but it seems to be holding up fine so far. Back of the truck for the lift, I got a monster amount of leaf spring with a lift leaf in there and a little bit bigger overload. Shocks on the back are fully extended, not even being used. 3-inch body lift here. See it in there. There is a alternator regulator I had to run, found out the hard way, boiled the batteries. Yeah, this guy here, I just bolted it. It runs right off my alternator. The wiring's a mess still. I did this whole job, including the transmission, the motor, and the rear drive shaft for $3,400 and some odd cents. It was about as budget as I could do it. Lots of people do it for more. I did it as cheap and as quick as I could. It took me 2 weeks. And that's including finding the parts, maybe a week in labor after work. And during days when I had time. Intercooler, couldn't get one in here yet because I didn't find one. Have one now, just not installed. Part of my piping for my intercooler is exhaust off the old 6.5. See what else I got on here. I'm forgetting to say. Got a boost line, pyro, but I mounted it too close because there was already a hole there, and I need to move it down because it's getting some pretty high temperatures. This is the Chevy radiator. Used the Chevy top, or the Chevy hose for the top, I believe. I think that was. And the Dodge hose for the bottom. Power steering, on the other hand, was an absolute pain in the ass. First, my power steering, there's 4 bolts that hold this guy on there. And the top 2 are fine. The bottom one here is fine, but the bottom other side broke off. It broke the actual tab. So it's held on by 3 for now. And because this is a Hydro Boost truck, you got 3 power steering lines. You have to go into a non-Hydro Boost pump. So I had to put a T, or kind of a T intersection there. And then this guy just for the power, or the pressure, and it's holding up okay. I was having problems with that for a while until I can get a line made at a hydraulic shop or something. That'll have to do the vacuum pump and just leave unplugged. I'm going to put a cap on it. All this wiring. This is the glow plug relays. I have them wired in here. It's just simple right now. I have it wired up to a switch on the inside so I can decide when I want to use them. Those are my old high idle switches from the 6.5. I had to modify my clutch pedal. I don't know if you can see it up in there. Right there. I had to modify that and extend it just slightly. It's hard to see. A little bit of flux core weld there. But I had to extend the clutch pedal because it was slightly off and it wouldn't quite engage. I had to put a mechanical gas pedal because this one had electronic. Yeah, that's a lot of wires. Lots of the wiring isn't from me, it's from the previous owner of the truck. This part of the clutch where it pops into your firewall, I took some old valve covers and cut some chunks out of them and just bolted it on. That way it doesn't pop out because it stripped the Dodge clutch system, and because it's slightly smaller than the Chevy one. I just took the Dodge one, put it down there onto the Dodge onto the Chevy tranny, and a little bit better look at that. It's just to hold it from popping out or screwing out. Haven't had any problems yet. I haven't put this up yet. Hasn't caused me any problems. Like I said, I put about 10,000 clicks on this, and it's been okay. Need new rear tires. These ones are getting cooked off. Transfer case linkage had to be extended. Just use an old Allen key. Extended the transfer case linkage back there. Here's the clutch. Once you get the new, or the Dodge bell housing, you can just bolt the Dodge clutch right onto it. As long as you have the Dodge fork inside, it'll still work just fine. Here's a mess of some gauges. Water temp's the only one I use. Oil and volts, those ones are just dummies. They're in there for just for show. This is the glow plugs right here. This is my top lights. my electric fan. And this little red one, that's my train horn. And I got trans, boost, and pyro. They work pretty good. Yeah, that's about all. If you guys have any other further questions, want to know more about the truck, all this is done at home, no help. Kind of just had to give her myself. So let me know if you guys have any other questions, and that's all for now. Bye.